Hello world. Hi, my name is Tony. I'm a software engineer with over 6 years of industry experience. As a mentor on ADP list, one question that I've been getting asked a lot is, how would I learn to code if I could start all over again? If you are at the beginning of your software career and don't know what to focus on, this video could give you more clarity. Now, to give a little background on myself, I studied 5 years of computer science at the University of Waterloo, also known as the MIT of Canada. There I learned everything about how a computer works. It was a grueling 5 years, but it was very worth it. I've worked as a back-end engineer across different companies like fintech, social media, and robotics. Now, if I could start programming all over again in 2023, what would I do? First of all, what are my end goals? I got into software for 2 reasons. 1, building things that I find interesting, and 2, finding a job. Now, how can I do this in the most efficient way possible? I'm going to break this down into 3 parts: learning fundamentals, practice through building, and Leetcode. Let's start with learning fundamentals. The landscape of learning has really changed since I coded in 2010. I could attend Waterloo again, but I would also try to program through an online course or boot camp. I hear they're very intensive and short, but college was also very intensive. I think the most important thing for me is to meet people and learn from my classmates. Now, to build my fundamentals, let's start with programming language fundamentals. I first learned programming back in high school, where I learned Python and Java. I learned the basics: loops, conditions, object-oriented programming. I built basic command line applications like tic-tac-toe. My final project was a Tetris game that I made with my friend. If I started from scratch, I would focus on a single programming language like Python or Kotlin and try to master it. Those are easy languages to start with, and picking up another language is relatively straightforward. Next, algorithms and data structure fundamentals. There are so many algorithm problems and data structures. There's no need to cover such a wide area. I would focus on the basics. For algorithm knowledge, it would be big O notation, sorting algorithms, like quick sort, merge sort, binary search, array and string manipulation. I think everyone should know those. Next is basic data structures, linked lists, arrays, queues, stacks, maps, binary trees. And then once I have the foundations built, then I would move on to the next phase, which is shipping things to production. Now, this is going to sound cliche, but the most important part of coding, like with many other things in life, is practice, practice, practice. I would choose to build something fun, like a website, an Airbnb booking system, a game, or an app to manage finances. I would dedicate a large chunk of time here because there will be a lot of learning here as well. If I were to choose a framework to learn, and this is just personal preference, I would learn React for web, Android for mobile, Django for backend, or Unity for gaming. Next, I would find someone to work with. I learn the most when I'm working with others. If I were focused on front end, I would find someone with back-end experience. And to find someone, I would try leveraging my network of friends. I would attend a hackathon. Hackathons are great for building things and meeting people. Or I would go to meetups. There's tons of meetups and conferences out there. You just gotta look. And then I'm gonna learn as I build. Once I start building, I'll run into topics like concurrency, networking, databases. Now, these are very heavy topics that require a long time to learn. But I will learn as I build. I tend to learn better from doing things. Like when I built my own VPN server. I learned so much about networking in 2 weeks than I did a whole semester of taking a networking class. Finally, it's important to learn version control. Learning Git is extremely valuable. You need it to collaborate with others. You need it to share your code on GitHub. This is used widely in the industry, so gotta learn it. Finally, how much Leetcode would I focus on? Now, if I could start all over, I wouldn't focus on Leetcode too much. And this is coming from someone who spent way too much time on algorithm questions and Leetcode at the very beginning. I think once I'm past the learning stage, I would dedicate 25% of my time on Leetcode and 75% of my time building projects. Now, Leetcode can be helpful for enhancing your problem-solving abilities and refining your programming skills, But most problems that you do in Leetcode aren't reflective of the things you do in a normal work environment. In my opinion, building something useful is much more fun. Well, there you have it. These are all the things that I would do if I started coding all over again. Hopefully you can take something away with you. See you next time.